You are searching for a monthly income fund, and you stumble across YieldMax. You see the numbers, 50%, 60%, sometimes even 100% dividend yields. You grab a calculator. You imagine putting $100,000 into them. The math says you could make $60,000 a year in pure passive income. It sounds like the ultimate cheat code for instant retirement. But are they really a cheat code? Or is there a dark side hiding in the fine print? In this video, we will answer these questions and reveal the whole picture. We are going to simulate a $100,000 investment into the two most famous ultra-high yielders, NVDY and TSLY. We will factor in the brutal NAV erosion and ordinary income taxes to see what you actually keep. As usual, all data comes directly from official fund fact sheets and verified financial sources. How on earth does a fund pay a 60% dividend? YieldMax funds do not invest like normal ETFs. They use a complex options strategy called a synthetic covered call. They don't even own the actual shares of Tesla or Nvidia. They use options to mimic the stock's movement, and then they sell short-term call options against it to generate massive premium. That premium is your monthly paycheck. But here is the catch, the fatal flaw in the math. By selling those calls, YieldMax puts a hard ceiling on how much the fund can go up in a month. But they have zero protection on the way down. If the underlying stock crashes 15%, the fund crashes 15%. But when the stock rebounds 15%, the fund's recovery is capped. It might only go up 5%. This creates a brutal stair-step effect. Down the elevator, up the stairs. Over a few years in a volatile market, your principal slowly bleeds out. This is NAV erosion. Okay, now we start with the YieldMax Nvidia Option Income ETF. Maybe it's the only success story for this strategy so far. It applies the strategy we explained before on Nvidia stock. It doesn't own Nvidia stock directly. It uses synthetic options to mimic the price and sells short-term call options to generate massive premium. It started in 2023 and has a recent expense ratio of 0.99%. Now, this is where the math gets brutal. The official recent distribution rate is a staggering 44.58%. And yes, they pay you every single week. But look at the price return. Since launch, the actual Nvidia stock exploded. But NVDY? The share price dropped. Because they cap the upside, it bled 30% of its value since inception. That equals a price return CAGR of negative 10.33%. If the share price shrinks, the option premiums shrink with it. They bleed together. And let's not forget the ordinary income tax rate, which can be as high as 37%. What about the other extreme, the YieldMax Tesla Option Income ETF? If the previous fund was a cheat code, this one is the ultimate warning sign. It applies the exact same options strategy, but to Tesla. The problem? Tesla has experienced massive volatility without the straight-line growth of Nvidia. In a choppy or downward market, this covered call strategy eats itself alive. It started in 2022. Its expense ratio is 0.99%, and the Morningstar rating? A brutal 1 star. The most recent official yield is a massive 46.18%, and they pay you every single week. But look at the price chart. It is a bloodbath. Because they cap the upside during Tesla rallies, but take the full hit on the way down, the fund is decaying rapidly. It has a price-return CAGR of negative 38.74%. And just like before, if the share price is evaporating, the option premium evaporates with it. So you are essentially sitting in a sinking ship, hoping for the high yield to save you from drowning. To prove this, let's put both of these funds into our simulation tool. And as always, we would be honored to have you as a subscriber. We are applying a 30% ordinary income tax rate with all recent official input we mentioned before to stress test $100,000 capital over 5 years. DRIP is on, so we are reinvesting every single after-tax dividend back into the fund. This is the absolute best-case scenario. If you turn DRIP off to pay your living expenses, the principal bleeding is much, much worse. First, NVDY. In year 1, you take home $2,842 a month after taxes. Because we are aggressively reinvesting that cash, by year 5, your monthly income doubles to over $6,000. Is this a rare success story with this strategy based on a short period of data? Let's look at this horror scenario, TSLY. It starts strong. Year 1 gives you $2,490 a month. But remember, the underlying stock struggled, so the NAV erosion was brutal. By year 5, the math collapses. Your $100,000 principal has melted down to just $41,800, and your monthly paycheck gets slashed in half, down to $1,240 a month. The 46% yield couldn't save you. You lost 60% of your life savings, and your income is shrinking every single year. So, are YieldMax funds a cheat code or a trap? Here is the golden rule they don't tell you. These are not traditional dividend stocks. You cannot buy them, close your eyes, and retire on the beach. They are highly leveraged bets on volatility and direction. If you pick a stock that is on a historic, unstoppable bull run like Nvidia, the massive yield acts like a cheat code. And the question here, would it last? But if you pick a stock that trades sideways or goes down like Tesla, the covered call strategy becomes a wealth trap. It locks in your losses, caps your recoveries, and bleeds your principal dry. If you guess wrong, you lose everything. Now, to stress test your own numbers, find the tool link in the description. And here are other monthly income ETFs which you might consider, discussed in these videos. Thank you for watching.